Jeff Rowe from Two Hacks Garage. Well, if you saw in the last video, Mad Dog Kenny and I, what we ended up doing was assembling the pistons and rods, and we showed you some pretty cool tricks on how to get those dreaded spiral locks in. Well, this video here, well, it's actually pretty easy, but there is a way you need to do it. Yep, installing piston rings and proper piston ring orientation. You know what, guys? When you slap things together, you just don't want to slap things together. There is a science behind it, there is a method behind it, and there is a reason behind it. First off, let me show you what we got working with. All right, guys. Well, what we're working with today is piston rings and pistons and rods. I've already got this one done here. I just went ahead and make sure everything worked correctly and the rings were correct. You always want to make sure they are correct per your application. These are from Total Seal. They came with the custom Ross Racing pistons that I got from Butler Performance. And when doing this, one cool tool, I got this from Lyle that makes things a lot easier, and I'll show you, is a piston ring installer tool. But real quick, guys, what you do have is you have your three different style of rings here. You have your top ring, you have your second ring, and then you have your oil rings here. And we're going to go over on showing you how to get those installed and the right orientation. But here's what I wanted to talk about. Speaking of orientation, it's kind of a little diagram here. Let me zoom in there for you. All right, so when installing piston rings, there is an orientation to it. That orientation helps prevent blow-by, it keeps oil where it needs to be, and overall it helps build that compression your engine needs to make. There is a proper orientation for this. So just let's pretend here that this is your piston, that's the front of the engine, and that's towards the top of the cylinder. So what you guys want to do, if you want to make this look like a clock, we know that's 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. So what you want to do is when you install these piston rings, you want to orient them in the correct rotation. So if you want to look here, that's how I'm kind of looking at this. There's the top and there's the front of the engine. And you got your wrist pin here, which I've outlined right there. That's the center of it, or the circle to circle right there. So what do? Well, the first step, what you're going to do is you're going to install your oil rings first. And when they say oil ring expander, that's this piece here. So your oil ring expander is always going to point down to 6 o'clock. Your oil bottom rail, which goes below the expander, is going to be at 2 o'clock. And your oil rail top gap is going to be at 10 o'clock. So when looking at your piston, your expander is going to be down here. Your top rail is going to be here. Your bottom rail for oil is going to be over here. And mind you guys, when you go to install these in the bore, you're going to want to make sure you get everything back into place, because a lot of times these will move around as you're handling them. So your second ring is always going to be right over here. It's going to be at the 9 o'clock position, right over the wrist pin hole. And then your top compression ring is going to be at 3 o'clock. You're splitting those right there. That's the least amount of piston rock that you're going to have in there in that cylinder. And it's a perfect place to position those and have your proper compression being built up. So you're probably wondering, well, how do you do all this? It's simple. Let me show you. All right, so first off, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put, I use a vise, but if you notice here, guys, I do have a rag and it's around the connecting rod, and I'm just putting enough clamping pressure on that to hold it into place and it doesn't rock. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to work on your oil rings first. By the way, guys, you want to make sure your pistons are clean and you want to make sure your rings are clean, everything debris free. So the first thing what I do is I take one of the expander rings and I just go ahead and put it into place. And going by the diagram, I want it at 6 o'clock. So right now I'm going to keep that at 6 o'clock. So the second step is what you're going to do is you're going to take your oil bottom, the oil rail bottom piece, because there's 3 pieces to it, and I'm going to place this at 2 o'clock. I'm going to make sure it's clean, kind of off camera, you can't see, but all I'm doing is I'm making sure that the ring is completely clean. So these are really flimsy. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of twist, I'm going to start it below the oil expander and I'm going to just kind of twist it into place and I'm going to get it below that ring. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it where the gap is. You can't really see, but you can see where my finger's moving. And I'm going to put that at 2 o'clock. The next ring is the oil rail top ring. And I'm going to put this gap over at 10 o'clock. And like I said, what you're going to want to do, this is just setting them up, but when you go to install these actually in the engine block, you're going to want to reorient them when you go in there. Same method. All I'm going to do is go above the ring, and I'm just going to kind of twist that on there like that. Get into place. Kind of hard to see, but I'm just moving that gap as I'm holding everything else in place over to the 10 o'clock. So right now, my oil rails, the bottom is at 2. The expander's in the middle with the gap at 6. And the top oil ring gap is at 10. So the next one is what we're going to install. We're going to install the second ring. Now, mind you guys, all rings are different. However, that being said, you want to make sure that you orient your rings right. Every ring is different. And in my case, there is a way I have to go on these rings. And if you look right here, this is the second ring. If you look right here, there's a dot. That dot means it's got to face up towards the top of the piston. It's kind of hard to see here, but this is considered like a Napier ring, and it's got like this little chamfer here. And if you have that on the second ring, that's always going to face down. So this ring here is marked, so I know that's the top. I know the little Napier ring, the little chamfer, where you want to call that channel, is going to face down. So where does that need to go? Well, we're going to put that at the 9 o'clock over the wrist pin. That's where this tool comes in handy. Basically, you just put it in there, you expand it. I'm going to go over the top. I'm going to go down to the second groove, and I'm going to put it into place. And right now, that's in place. It's over the 9 o'clock. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the top ring. However, I do want to show you on the top ring that there is another orientation on this. Some of them are laser etched. Some of them have a dot also. All rings, I've noticed nothing's really quite consistent. However, there is on this top ring, there is a chamfer on the inner part of that. And what that is, that allows it to turn, get gases out, keep things where they need to go. So what you want to do is you always want to look at that. And the chamfer, if you look here, it's kind of hard to see, I know, but that is a sharp edge, if you want to call it. And then you have a chamfer on the top. The chamfer on the top ring goes towards the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take my piston ring expander tool just like this. I'm going to expand it. I'm going to carefully go over the top. Just like that. Put it into place. And I'm going to go over the 3 o'clock position. So there you go. It's actually easy. It takes, like I said, just a couple minutes to do that. You just want to make sure you have your orientation correct. And what I do, since I don't do this every day, I have my cheat sheet here that I drew out. So yeah, orientation does matter to prevent blow-by, to have proper seal, and also the orientation of the ring, top and bottom, does matter too. Always look at your manufacturer specs. And normally what they do in there is they explain all that. And just follow your directions, guys. Take your time. Don't force things. Oh, and by the way, remember to gap your rings before you do this. And I did have a video on that just a couple days ago. Anyway, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the rest of these done. We'll chat with you in a few. Well, there you have it, guys. It's about 30-40 minutes of installing those rings. It's actually quite simple, as I showed you. Really, you just need to make sure things are clean. Make sure you follow your manufacturer spec on what orientation the rings need to be at for top and bottom, which rings are which, and having the right tools really does help. Like I said, you really can't mess it up. It's just following instructions and taking your time and a little bit of attention to detail. Tell you what, guys, real quick before I go any further, t-shirt of the day, Don's Automotive and Speed Shop in Kenosha, Wisconsin. They do a lot of work for me. Awesome guys, excellent service, and it's Kenosha, Wisconsin. They got a really large amount of really good food up there. So what's next on this? Well, what's next on Kyle's 433 cubic inch Pontiac build is we're going to get the crankshaft installed, get the thrust set on that, and we're probably going to get the cam installed too. Because pretty soon what we want to do is we want to put those pistons in there so we can get this engine completed and make some noise. Ultimate goal on this car, I don't know if I really talked about it a whole lot. It's going to be a really street-friendly car that's easy to drive, very reliable, because his family's going to enjoy it. And I want to make sure everything we do is top-notch work, so when they're driving it, nothing bad happens. So yeah, we're getting much closer to making that awesome noise that we call horsepower coming along. And yeah, till then, guys, when we go to put that crank in, stay tuned and stay cool.